Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the show. I'm Sean David, and as always, thanks for tuning in. In today's episode of Who Would You Pick, we're going to take a look at two of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. On the one side, we got the guy who was supposed to carry the torch for Michael Jordan in the 1990s, Grant Hill, and on the other side, we got the reincarnation of Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway. So two of the biggest what-ifs. So we're going to reevaluate the career, take a look at the career. I'm going to compare the two and see at the end who I would pick if I was an NBA GM. Alright, so pretty difficult decision that I can tell you right away. But before we start with this video, if you like the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I would say, let's start the video.
Two biggest what-ifs for me in terms of injuries is Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway. If those two don't get injured, when they came along at the time they came along, no big guys was doing what they were doing, like at 6'7", 6'8", that type of athleticism, that type of handle. Like Magic had athleticism, but Magic didn't have no crossover. You know, he didn't have no hesitation. Like Grant Hill came in, Penny Hardaway came in, and they were two of the best athletes that I had ever seen. And they had ball handling skills that no big guys had at that time. And, you know, if those two don't get hurt, then, you know, it's a different day.
So we're going to start off the video by taking a look at the career of Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway. And since Penny weren't number one, Penny has to be number one, so let's take a look. Penny Anthony Hardaway was born on the 18th July in 1971 in Memphis, Tennessee. If you wonder where he got his nickname from, well, Penny is from his grandmother. He played college ball for the University of Memphis, a university that was not known for its great basketball history. And even though Penny was sensational right from the get-go, not too many people knew about him. Remember, at that time, no internet. But still, to insiders, he was known to be one of the best players in the entire country. In his 2 seasons with the Memphis Tigers, he averaged 20 points, 7.7 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. So sensational. At the video shoot of the movie Blue Chips, Shaquille O'Neal took notice of Penny since Penny was passing the ball to Shaq all the time. And of course, Shaq loved that. He called the GM of the Orlando Magic and told him to draft Penny, or he would not resign. Well, what can you say? And the rest is history.
Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber to Golden State in exchange for the draft rights to Anthony Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks.
In his rookie season, Penny had to prove many people that he belonged, and he just did that. After being the backup point guard to Scott Skiles, midway through the season, Penny was the starting point guard, turning the Orlando Magic in one of the hottest teams in the entire NBA. Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway were now known to be the future of the NBA, the reincarnation of Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. In only Penny's second season, he took the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals. They got swept in the finals by the way more experienced Houston Rockets, among Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. Still, the future was looking very bright. But already in the next season, it didn't look too good. Even though the Orlando Magic were playing very well, they got swept by the Chicago Bulls in the playoffs, which killed the spirit of the Orlando Magic. Throughout the season, Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal didn't have the best relationship. Since Penny was gaining more and more media attention, that didn't sit too well with Shaquille O'Neal. One season later, Shaquille O'Neal left to play for the Los Angeles Lakers, which left Penny Hardaway to be the only superstar on the Orlando Magic. The problem was that extra pressure was too much for Penny. He had problems with his knees but was forced to play in order for the Orlando Magic to compete for a championship. And that was actually what killed his career. He kept on playing and playing and playing even though he should have rested, resulting in Penny getting injured all the time. After many knee surgeries, you could see Penny wasn't the same player. The Orlando fans got fed up with Penny, so Penny joined the Phoenix Suns, which sounded sensational on paper. I mean, you had Jason Kidd and Penny Hardaway, two of the greatest point guards of the 1990s, but still Penny's body wasn't holding up. From that point onwards, Penny was a journeyman and could never reach the same level that he had in his younger days with the Orlando Magic. It's crazy. Unfortunately, Penny Hardaway didn't even have many healthy seasons, which means we didn't even see him in his prime. Just imagine we could have seen him at least like for another 3 or 4 years, so we at least could have gotten a peak of his prime to see how good he actually could have been. Alright, so let's have a look at Grant Hill's career. Grant Hill was born on the 5th of October in 1972 in Dallas, Texas. He played college ball from 1990 until 1994 at the University of Duke. There he became a complete basketball player, literally entering the NBA as a 100% ready NBA player. He was the 3rd pick of the 1994 NBA draft behind Glenn Big Dog Robinson and Jason Kidd. The Pistons were far away from the bad boy Pistons day, so we're talking about a very bad NBA team. But still, this was a great opportunity for Grant Hill to showcase his great skills. From day one, he was the best player on the team, winning the Rookie of the Year award in 1995. For the next 6 seasons, he was the face of the Detroit Pistons, not only being one of the most popular players in the NBA, but also being one of the best players. He literally could do everything. He was a good scorer, could hit you in many ways, had a deadly mid-range game, could see the floor, a great passer, rebounder, good shooter. So yes, we're talking about one of the best players of that era. Unfortunately, from the year 2000, everything went downhill. Not as funny as it sounds. In the year 2000-2001, he could only play 4 games, having his first ankle surgery. This literally would take away a lot of his game. For the next 4 years, he hardly played, having surgery after surgery. He continued to play for the Orlando Magic, the Phoenix Suns, and ending his career with the LA Clippers, still being a decent player but far away from that he once was able to do. Again, a very sad story. I mean, the good thing with Grant Hill was he was able to maintain a long-lasting NBA career, even though it wasn't on the same level as in his prime. Still, he had a good NBA career. So let's compare the two and see who would actually be the better player. Okay, again, I gotta be honest, I had no idea how close they actually are stat-wise, but let's have a look. So obviously, Grant Hill had way more games. That of course means that he played more games in the fall of his career. Minutes-wise, they're almost equal, incredible. Shooting-wise, Grant Hill was a better shooter. He definitely had a better mid-range shot. Still, Penny was a good shooter. Free throw-wise, they're really close. Rebound-wise, Grant Hill, being a small forward, obviously had more rebounds. Passing-wise, Penny had the upper hand. I mean, he was a point guard. He should have the upper hand, but he had the passing gift. He was a great passer. And even though Grant Hill was also a great passer for his position, he was no match for Penny. Steals, Penny being the point guard, also should have the upper hand. Blocks, they're almost on the same page. Points, pretty interesting. Grant Hill was definitely the better scorer, as already mentioned earlier. Because he played more years in the fall of his career, of course, his averages dropped. But all in all, you can see they're pretty similar in many categories. Let's take a look at the accolades. Penny Hardaway is on the top left, a 4-time All-Star, a 3-time All-NBA player, and he was an All-Rookie in 1993-1994. Grant Hill, on the other hand, is a Hall of Famer now, a 7-time All-Star, a 5-time All-NBA, the Rookie of the Year in 95. So when it comes to the accolades, there's no comparison. Grant Hill definitely has the upper hand. But of course, he also had more healthy seasons. Okay, here it is. If I would have to make a decision, expecting both players to be healthy in their entire career, who would I pick? And again, that hurts so much because I was a huge Penny Hardaway fan, but I still would go with Grant Hill. I don't know why, but something tells me that Grant Hill would be more effective and more valid on your team. And I say that with the most respect that I can have for Penny Hardaway. I mean, I got his jersey framed up my wall. I bought his sneakers. I collected his trading cards. Penny Hardaway, I love you. But for whatever reason, I think just like 0.00001 point, Grant Hill was the better player, and it hurts. I would love to hear what you guys have to say because I'm pretty sure that many of you guys will not agree. So post your opinion in the comments.
Penny Hardaway, for me, watching him, I knew there was something different. So for me, watching him and his vision and what I call, he sees it. He saw the game ahead of his time. So for him, these two guys, I think that both Grant and Penny would have been thought of as the measuring stick of what you measure guys by.
Hey you guys, if you're active on Facebook, I can really recommend Open Court. As an NBA fan, you should find everything you need. If it's funny NBA videos, impressive highlights, or even NBA news, I check out Open Court every day.